The sun was setting, casting a soft golden glow over the city. Inside the tall, glass building that held the famous Golden Spoon restaurant, the atmosphere was busy and lively. Waiters moved quickly between tables, carrying plates of delicious food. People talked and laughed, celebrating the end of a long work week. It was a place where many came to enjoy good meals and relax. Among the guests that evening was a man named John. John was well known in the city. He was a millionaire businessman who had made his fortune through hard work and smart decisions. His suits were always perfect, and his expensive watch shined on his wrist. John was proud of his success, but many people said he was not always kind. John had just finished a very important meeting. He wanted to reward himself with a fancy dinner at the Golden Spoon. He entered the restaurant, his confident steps catching the attention of some of the staff. He didn't smile much, but he ordered his favorite dishes quickly and sat down at a table near the corner. From there, he could see the whole room and watch people without being watched too closely. Emma was a waitress that night. She was in her early 20s, with soft brown eyes and a friendly smile. Emma wasn't from a rich family. In fact, she worked 2 jobs to support her mother and younger brother. Her father had left when she was young, and Emma had learned to be strong and responsible very early. The restaurant job was not easy, especially on busy nights like this, but Emma always tried her best. She believed in kindness and respect, even when customers were difficult. When John's order was ready, Emma carried the food carefully to his table. She spoke politely, "Here is your dinner, sir. I hope you enjoy it." John barely looked up from his phone. "Thanks," he said, his voice cold. Emma felt a little hurt but did not show it. She turned to attend to other customers. Throughout the evening, she worked hard, moving quickly from table to table, making sure everyone was happy. Hours passed, and John finished his meal. He called Emma back to his table. "Bring me the bill," he said sharply. Emma nodded and returned with the bill, placing it gently on the table. John looked at the total and then at Emma. His eyes narrowed. "I don't see why I should pay for this," he said loudly. Heads turned in the restaurant. Emma's heart sank. "Excuse me, sir." John leaned back in his chair and said, "You waitresses, you're all the same. You think you deserve tips, but you're worthless. I won't pay for a meal served by someone like you." The room grew quiet. Some people gasped. Emma's hands trembled slightly, but she kept her voice steady. "Sir, I am doing my job honestly. I serve every customer with respect." John laughed bitterly. "Respect? You're just a waitress. Worthless." Emma felt a rush of anger and sadness, but she did not give up. She looked around. Many people were watching now. "Maybe you don't see it, sir, but everyone has value. I work hard to support my family. I'm proud of what I do. If you can't understand that, it says more about you than me." John stood up, his face red with anger. "Get out of here. Don't waste my time." Emma stood her ground. "I'm not going anywhere. But I hope you think about what you just said. Words have power." At that moment, the restaurant manager, Mr. Collins, walked over. He was a tall man with a calm voice. "Sir, please pay the bill and leave. This is a place of respect." John looked at the manager, then back at Emma. He didn't say a word. He took the bill and threw some cash on the table, not enough to cover it, and stormed out. Emma felt tears welling up but blinked them away. The customers started clapping softly. Some came over to thank her for standing up. One older woman said, "Don't listen to him, dear. You are worth so much more than that." Emma smiled gratefully. The night had been difficult, but she had stood tall. She knew that she had shown more strength in those few moments than many would ever see. Emma's story was far from over. The night at the Golden Spoon was slowly calming down after the incident with John. Most customers had left, and the restaurant was almost empty. Emma sat on a small chair in the staff room, quietly catching her breath. Her hands still trembled a little from the shock, but her heart felt stronger than before. Her co-worker, Sarah, came in with a cup of tea. "Emma, that was brave of you," she said softly. "I don't know if I could have said what you did." Emma smiled faintly. "I didn't want to be rude, but I had to stand up for myself. Sometimes, people forget that waitresses are people too." Sarah nodded. "You showed him that kindness and respect aren't just for the rich and powerful." Emma took a sip of the tea and looked out the small window. Her thoughts wandered to her family, her mother, who worked long hours cleaning houses, and her little brother, who was studying hard in school. She worked at the restaurant not just for herself, but for them. Every dollar she earned helped pay for food, rent, and her brother's school supplies. It was hard work, but she never complained. Just then, the restaurant manager, Mr. Collins, knocked and entered the room. "Emma," he said, "I want to thank you for handling that difficult situation so well tonight. Not many people could stay calm like you did." Emma stood up and smiled. "Thank you, Mr. Collins. I just did what I thought was right." Mr. Collins nodded. "You know, sometimes customers forget to be kind. But you reminded us all about respect." Emma felt a warm feeling inside. It was good to be recognized. The next morning, Emma woke up early. The incident with John stayed on her mind. She thought about how some people with money believe they can treat others badly. But Emma knew that true worth was not in money or power. After getting ready, she went to her second job at a small bookstore nearby. The owner, Mrs. Davis, was kind and treated Emma like family. The bookstore was quiet and peaceful, a perfect place to think. As Emma organized books on the shelves, her phone buzzed. It was a message from a customer at the Golden Spoon. "Thank you for standing up for yourself. You showed real courage." Emma smiled. Small messages like this made her feel supported. Meanwhile, across town, John sat in his office, staring out the window. The city lights flickered below, but John's mind was troubled. For the first time in a long while, he felt unsure of himself. He thought about what Emma had said, the part about dignity and worth. It made him remember his own childhood, when he was poor and had to fight to survive. He had worked hard to get where he was, but somehow, along the way, he lost sight of respect. John's assistant knocked on the door, breaking his thoughts. "Sir, you have a meeting in 10 minutes. John nodded but felt distracted. He knew he needed to change. Back at the Golden Spoon, Emma was busy serving customers again. She moved quickly, smiling and chatting with people. She loved her job because it gave her a chance to connect with others. During a break, Emma sat down and thought about her future. She wanted more than just jobs that paid the bills. She dreamed of going to college one day, maybe studying business or writing. Her brother, Sam, often told her, "You're my hero, Emma. You never give up." Emma felt proud but also worried. College was expensive, and money was always tight. That afternoon, As Emma cleared tables, a man approached her. He was wearing glasses and a simple shirt. "Hi," he said kindly. "I'm Michael. I was at the restaurant last night." Emma recognized him as a teacher from a nearby school. Michael smiled. "I just wanted to say, I'm sorry about what happened. No one deserves to be treated that way." Emma nodded. "Thank you, Michael. It means a lot." Michael looked around and lowered his voice. "You know, sometimes people with power forget the value of kindness. But people like you remind us what really matters." Emma felt a deep respect for Michael. It was good to know there were people who cared. That evening, Emma returned home. Her mother was cooking dinner, and Sam was doing homework at the kitchen table. "How was your day?" her mother asked. "Good," Emma replied, sitting down. "Busy, but good." Her mother smiled tiredly. "You're strong, Emma. We're proud of you." Emma felt warmth in her heart. Despite everything, she had love and support at home. Later that night, Emma wrote in her journal. She wrote about the incident with John, about the kindness she had received from strangers, and about her hopes for the future. She ended the day feeling hopeful. No matter what happened, she would keep working hard and stay true to herself. The next morning, the Golden Spoon opened as usual. Emma arrived early, ready for another long day of work. The memory of the previous night's incident still lingered, but she felt stronger now. She had told herself that no rude words or looks could break her spirit. As she put on her uniform and tied her hair back, she heard the restaurant door open. A man stepped inside, looking around with a calm and friendly expression. He was in his late 30s, with kind eyes behind his glasses. This was Michael, the teacher Emma had met briefly the day before. "Good morning, Emma," he said with a smile. "I hope you don't mind if I come in today." Emma was surprised but pleased. "Not at all, Michael. Please have a seat." Michael sat down at a table near the window and looked over the menu. Emma brought him a glass of water and returned to her duties. Throughout the morning, Michael watched Emma work. He noticed how carefully she treated each customer, how she remembered small details, and how she never lost her patience. At lunchtime, the restaurant was crowded. Emma moved quickly, serving many hungry customers. She smiled at Michael as she passed by his table. Michael stood up and called the manager, "Mr. Collins, over. I would like to pay for Emma's lunch today," he said quietly. Mr. Collins smiled. "Thank you, Michael. That's very kind of you." Emma was surprised when Michael came to her and said, "I want to thank you for your strength and kindness. It's not easy to stand up to someone like John." Emma felt a warm glow. "Thank you, Michael. It means a lot." Word about the incident had spread through the restaurant. Some customers whispered and looked at Emma with new respect. Others shook their heads in disbelief that someone like John could behave so poorly. During a slow moment, a group of regular customers approached Emma's station. "We heard what happened," said Mrs. Green, an elderly woman who came to the restaurant every week. "You handled yourself very well." Emma smiled politely. "Thank you. It was hard, but I believe everyone deserves respect." One man, Mr. Lewis, added, "If only more people understood that." Emma's confidence grew. She realized she was not alone. There were people who saw her worth, even if John could not. Later that afternoon, John returned to the Golden Spoon. This time, he looked different. His face was tired, and his usual confident air was gone. He walked up to the manager. "I want to speak with the waitress who served me last night," he said quietly. Mr. Collins nodded and called Emma over. Emma approached, trying to keep calm. John looked at her and said, "I was wrong to say those things. I had a bad day, and I took it out on you." Emma listened carefully. She wanted to believe him but also wanted to protect herself. "I'm sorry if I hurt you," John continued. "You were professional, and I did not appreciate it." Emma nodded slowly. "Thank you for apologizing. I accept it." John looked relieved. "Is there any way I can make this right?" Emma thought for a moment and said, "Maybe start by treating everyone with kindness." John smiled weakly. "I will try." As John left, Emma felt a strange mix of emotions. It was not easy to forgive, but sometimes people needed a second chance. That evening, Emma told her mother about John's apology. Her mother smiled gently. "People can change if they want to. You showed him what respect means." Emma smiled back. She was proud of herself for standing strong and for forgiving. At home, Emma's brother, Sam, looked up from his homework. "You're amazing, Emma," he said. "I want to be like you when I grow up." Emma hugged him tightly. "You already are." The next few days brought more surprises. A local newspaper published a story about Emma's courage. The article praised her for standing up to John and for her kindness. Emma received many messages of support from strangers. Some people even came to the restaurant just to meet her and say thank you. One afternoon, a man handed Emma an envelope. "Someone left this for you," he said. Emma opened it carefully. Inside was a letter and a check. The letter read, "Dear Emma, your courage and kindness inspired me. I want to help you with your dreams. Please use this to go to college or for anything you need." A friend. Emma's eyes filled with tears. She never expected such generosity. She showed the letter to Mr. Collins, who smiled warmly. "You deserve every good thing, Emma." That night, Emma sat at her kitchen table, writing a letter back to her mysterious friend. "Thank you for believing in me," she wrote. "I promise to work hard and make you proud." Emma's life was changing, but her heart stayed humble and full of hope. John sat alone in his spacious office high above the city. The bright lights of the buildings outside flickered like stars, but inside, John felt a deep darkness. He stared at the empty glass on his desk, thinking about the last few days. The restaurant, Emma's words, the way people looked at him, everything was different now. For years, John had believed that money and power were the most important things in life. He thought success was about winning and never showing weakness. But after the incident with Emma, something inside him had changed. John's mind went back to his childhood. He was not born into wealth. When he was a boy, his family struggled. His parents worked hard, but money was always tight. John remembered feeling invisible, like people didn't see him or care about him. As he grew older, John promised himself he would never be weak or powerless again. He worked hard, studied late at night, and made smart choices. Slowly, he became successful and rich. But in the process, he had become cold and distant. That night at the restaurant, Emma's words had hit him harder than he expected. When she said she had dignity and worth, John realized he had forgotten what dignity truly meant. It wasn't about money or titles. It was about respect, kindness, and how you treat others. John reached for his phone and looked at the photos from his childhood. A small smile touched his lips as he saw his mother's tired but loving face, his father's strong hands. He thought about how he had pushed people away, how his harsh words had hurt Emma and others. John made a decision. He wanted to change. The next day, John asked his assistant to arrange a meeting with the restaurant manager, Mr. Collins. He wanted to talk in person. When Mr. Collins arrived, John greeted him with a genuine smile. "Thank you for coming," he said. "I want to apologize again for my behavior." Mr. Collins nodded. "It's good to hear that, John." John continued, "Emma taught me a valuable lesson. I want to make things right. I would like to support her in any way I can." Mr. Collins was surprised but pleased. "I will let Emma know." John felt a sense of relief. It was the first time in a long time he had felt peace inside. Later that week, John visited the Golden Spoon again. This time, he came with a small gift for Emma, a book about kindness and leadership. He asked to speak with her privately. Emma was nervous but curious. When John gave her the book, he said, "Thank you for reminding me what truly matters. I hope you will accept this as a small token of my respect." Emma smiled and said, "Thank you, John. It means a lot." John and Emma talked for a while. He listened as she shared her dreams and struggles. For the first time, John saw her not just as a waitress but as a person with hopes and fears. After their conversation, John felt inspired to do more. He started thinking about how he could help others who worked hard but were often overlooked. Emma, too, felt hopeful. She saw that change was possible, even in people like John. Meanwhile, Michael, the teacher, continued to visit the restaurant and support Emma. He helped her research scholarship opportunities for college and encouraged her to keep dreaming. One afternoon, Emma received good news: she was accepted to a local community college. The scholarship would cover part of her tuition. She called her mother and brother, sharing the happy news. Her mother cried with joy, and Sam said, "You did it, Emma. I'm so proud." Emma felt tears in her eyes, but they were tears of hope. John also began to change his ways. He started volunteering at local charities and used his business skills to help small companies grow. At work, people noticed John was kinder and more patient. Some even said he had become a better man. One day, John invited Emma and Michael to his office for a meeting. He wanted to hear their ideas on how to support young people like Emma, who worked hard to achieve their dreams. Together, they started planning a program that would provide scholarships and mentoring for students from difficult backgrounds. John realized that true success was not just about money but about making a positive difference in the world. Emma's story had touched his heart and changed his life forever. That evening, as Emma sat at home, she thought about everything that had happened. From being called worthless to becoming a symbol of hope, her journey was full of lessons. She knew the road ahead would still be hard, but she was ready. With courage, kindness, and the support of new friends, Emma believed she could build a better future not just for herself, but for everyone around her. The months that followed were full of change and hope. Emma's life was no longer just about working long hours and struggling to make ends meet. She was now a college student, studying hard with a new dream shining brightly in her heart. Emma's days were busy, but different from before. She woke up early each morning, not to rush to a tiring job, but to attend her classes with excitement. The scholarship she had received, along with the generous support from the mysterious friend who had sent her the letter, made this possible. She still worked at the Golden Spoon, but now it was part-time. Emma loved her job there not only because it helped pay some bills, but because it was where she had learned some of life's most important lessons. and she had met people like Michael and John, whose lives were now connected with hers in ways she never imagined. One sunny afternoon, the Golden Spoon held a special event. John, Emma, Michael, and Mr. Collins had organized a scholarship ceremony to help more young people in the community. The restaurant was decorated with colorful balloons and flowers. Families and friends gathered to celebrate new beginnings. Emma stood at the front of the room, holding a microphone. Her heart beat fast, but she felt ready. "Thank you all for coming," she began, her voice clear and steady. "I never imagined that a few months ago, my life would change so much. I want to thank everyone who believed in me, who gave me a chance to follow my dreams." The crowd smiled and applauded. Emma looked toward John, who nodded with pride. John stood up next. "I want to say how proud I am of Emma and all the young people here today. Their hard work and courage inspire me every day. This program is just the beginning. We want to help many more students reach their potential." Michael added, "Education is a gift. It opens doors to new opportunities. We are committed to supporting these students with scholarships, mentoring, and guidance." After the speeches, scholarships were handed out to several students. Each one accepted the support with bright smiles and tears of joy. Emma knew this moment was not just about money, it was about hope, respect, and believing in the future. That evening, as the event ended, Emma felt a deep sense of peace. She had come a long way from the night John called her worthless. Her strength, kindness, and belief in herself had changed not only her life but the lives of many others. Back at home, Emma sat with her mother and Sam. They talked about their dreams and plans for the future. "I want to become a teacher," Emma said softly. "I want to help other kids like me." Her mother smiled proudly. "You will be a wonderful teacher." Sam looked up and said, "I want to be just like you, Emma. Strong and kind." Emma hugged them both. She felt grateful for their love and support. As the weeks passed, Emma continued her studies, her job, and her volunteer work with the scholarship program. She learned that success was not about how much money you had, but how much you gave to others. John also kept changing. He became a better leader in his company, treating employees with kindness and respect. His story with Emma reminded him every day that real power comes from caring. One afternoon, Emma received a letter from the friend who had helped her. Inside was a note: "Keep shining your light, Emma. The world needs more people like you." Emma smiled and folded the letter carefully. She knew her journey was just beginning. Emma's story was a reminder to everyone: no matter where you start, no matter what others say, your worth is inside you. It shines brightest when you stand with courage, kindness, and hope,